This is your one and only FireSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another Elden Ring video. Today, I'm going to show you the absolute most ridiculously OP build you've ever seen. Let's get to it. So a while back, I put out a video showing a combination of things you could use with the twin blades to just do tons and tons of damage quickly. Well, Rage Gaming Videos, and I'm going to link their video down below because it was my inspiration for what we got going on here, put out a video using similar tactics but using curved swords instead, and apparently it works way better with curved swords than it does the twin blades. So I saw their damage and I thought, you know what? I think I can optimize this, make it a little bit easier, and do even more damage. And so I did, and it does. And it's absolutely insane. And if you don't believe me, here's a few clips of me just deleting bosses within seconds. Most of them don't even have a chance to get off more than one attack. So, how am I doing so much damage so crazy fast? Well, a lot of that has to do with the Bandit's Curved Swords. In Rage Gaming's videos, they use the Scavenger's Curved Sword, and while it is a good curved sword, you can actually get more oomph out of the Bandit's Curved Sword. You don't really need that bleed that comes with the Scavenger's Curved Sword. As you can see there, it has a passive effect of blood loss buildup on it. You don't really need that because you can get that on your sword, and we're making use of some other tactics to not only do bleed damage, but also poison the target as well. You can see that I have Poisonous Mist on this one and Seppuku on this one instead of running Seppuku on both of them. And we'll talk about some different variations that you can do with this build and how you could possibly optimize it even more in a second. So then I am running Lord of Blood's Exaltation. I'm also running the Kindred of Rot's Exaltation. That means that when we proc a bleed and we proc a poison, we immediately get a bonus 40% increase in our damage. This gives us 10% increase in our damage, totaling a 50% increase in damage. Due to the fact that we hit like crazy and hit like crazy fast, we also get an increase in damage on this. Then because of Raptor's Black Feathers and the Claw Talisman, we increase our damage even more when we do jump attacks. Do note that the only two armor pieces required for this build are the White Mask and the Raptor's Feathers. You can fill in the rest of the armor with whatever you choose. If none of that is enough, you can increase your damage even more using the Commander Standard by another 20%, and if that's not enough, you can increase your damage even more by 30% by using the Blood Boil Aromatic. Now, I do not advise using the Blood Boil Aromatic unless you are having particular difficulty with a boss and you need that extra oomph, or it's a boss that you know is going to be a pain in the butt right from the get-go. You don't even want to deal with it. You want to delete it as soon as possible. You don't necessarily need this because you do an absolute ton of damage without it. All of that footage you've seen, with the exception of the Tree Sentinel, I did not have this active. I activated this for the Tree Sentinel because I hate him and I wanted it to die super fast. And the reason I say that is because one of the things that you need to craft this is very difficult to get a hold of, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. Last but not least, we are using the Flask of Wondrous Physique, and we are using the Thorny Cracked Tear, which just stacks with the Rotten Winged Sword insignia. For your other slot there, you can use whatever you want. I always just run Twiggy because I don't like losing runes. You can run literally anything else you want to run there that's going to help you out. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, but what if the target doesn't bleed? What if the target doesn't poison? Well, let's take a look at the damage that these swords can do if neither of those things happen. Right out of the box, they have 587 attack power, which is absolutely insane. And you can see my stats here. I'm running 80 arcane, 34 strength, 35 endurance, 20 mind, and 32 in vigor. I am level 160. Now, I know not everybody wants to get to 160. A lot of you want to hit 125 in PvP with a build like this. So you can easily do that. Your main thing that you want to hit is that 80 arcane. Other than that, put points wherever you want to put them. For dexterity and strength, I know it says E in strength and D scaling in dexterity. It does not matter. For each point you put in either of those, you will only get 1 attack power. So if you put a point in dexterity, 1 attack power, point in strength, 1 attack power. I favored strength because that actually gives us a little bit of increase to our defenses, but you know, do whatever you want to do there. The 80 arcane is where a majority of your attack power is coming from. So I'm not going to run the bleed or the poison on either of these swords. What I am going to do is I'm going to proc the commander standard, and then I'm going to hit our flask here. And if we take a look at our status right now, we're at 704 on attack power. And now what we're going to do is we are going to run out here and we are going to jump attack this guy. And then we're going to quickly look there, 955 without, well, it bounces around. So it could be 955. It could be 11 something. We're going to say 955 because that's what it was when we first saw it before it started changing. So 955 with just those few hits. You don't necessarily need the bleed, but it's nice to have for most things. The more you attack something, the more attack power you are going to get as you are attacking it, and you want to jump attack as much as possible. One thing you want to make sure you do if you're attacking human-sized targets is you want to hold off on clicking your attack button until you are almost on the ground. You have a second there as you fall down to do that attack. So right there, you do that. You can see right before I landed, I attacked. That's going to ensure that you hit a majority of those hits on human-sized targets. If you do this, you're going to attack above their head and you're going to come down and you are going to miss some of those hits. And I'll show you on this little imp guy over here. So we're just going to run over here. I'm actually going to drink this so we don't lose our runes just in case craziness happens. So you want to jump and then attack right before you hit the ground like that, and you're going to hit with a majority of the attacks. So let's talk quickly about why I have equipped where I have it equipped. So I have the Poisonous Mist on our main hand and Seppuku on our offhand. And that is because that the Poisonous Mist does not last as long as Seppuku does. So it poisons the ground, and obviously that just stays there for a second, and that's super handy for poisoning a target quickly. But you can also see our blade currently applies poison. It has that effect on it, and it will apply poison as long as it has that effect. That effect does not last as long as Seppuku does. So you're going to be activating it more often. That's why I have it on our main hand weapon. You can see it wore off really quickly there. And you don't really need to be running Seppuku all the time. If we just proc this right now, we have it on our main hand and we can run out here. We can proc it quickly on this guy. It's going to poison him, give us the bonus. There you go. Quick and easy. He's dead. We have that now for other targets we can run through and attack them. So you don't really need to have Seppuku up all the time when you're just running through the level, killing little things here and there. If you're having an issue with the target or you're running into something that you know you're going to have an issue with, you can double fist this blade and then run Seppuku like that. That'll activate it, and then go back to running dual blades, and then you can do this. And now you have poison on one, bleed on the other, and when you attack like that, you are going to activate both relatively quickly. You'll also note that when we activate Seppuku, it gives us the bonus from Lord of Blood's Exaltation. So you'll start with that when you go into a fight. You'll start with the Lord of Blood's already active. You can run up close to the target if you know you're going to have a second, activate the Poisonous Mist, and then go to town, absolutely destroy the target within seconds. We didn't even activate any of the other buffs there. Just having these is going to cause you to do tons of damage, absolute tons of damage. So let's talk about a few modifications you can make to this build to tweak it to something that may fit your playstyle a little better. Maybe you want something that's a little lower maintenance and still does equivalent damage. We're just going to talk about some things that can mix it up. So one of the things that you can do is remove the Kindred of Rot's Exaltation and replace that with Millicent's Prosthesis. I have a hard time saying that word. I don't know why, but you can replace it with that. That will actually stack with the Rotten Winged Sword insignia, and it will stack with the Thorny Cracked Tear. So the more times you can attack, the more attack power you are going to stack over a given period of time, allowing you to do absolutely insane damage. One of the downsides to it is you cannot get Millicent's prosthesis until you have gone through your second playthrough or you have somebody drop it for you. You used to be able to get it all at one time when you got this by getting this and then quickly killing her, but now that's not a thing. That's been patched. So you'll have to get it on your New Game Plus playthrough or have somebody drop it for you. I don't have it, that's why I'm running this. So if you don't have it, I recommend this instead. Another option you can run instead of that is the Ritual Sword Talisman, or you can run a low life build running the Red Feathered Branch Sword. The downside is this one's going to shut off when you get hit, and this one you're just going to die when you get hit. Either one of these will give you a huge boost to your attack power. If we disable it here, you can see that we are at 587. If I activate it, we are at 646. And as you can see, you have to be extremely low life to get the Feathered Branch Sword to be active, and there is our attack power with it at 704. Now, one other thing I want to point out here is you can see our default attack power is 596. If we activate Seppuku and we wait for a second for the Lord of Blood's exaltation to wear off, you can see that with Lord of Bloods, we are at 827, but that is actually going to drop off here in a second, but it will be higher than our other sword. So there you can see that it is now 626. That is because when this is active on your sword and it is glowing red like that, that gives you bonuses to your attack power. So if you want more sustained, consistent damage, another option you can do is get rid of the Poisonous Mist and duplicate Seppuku and run it on both swords. Then you can run something like the Ritual Sword Talisman, although you are constantly going to be chugging health potions because every time you activate Seppuku on both swords, it is going to turn off the Ritual Sword Talisman. Or you can run something that is just going to give you additional defense, because running Seppuku on both swords, you're gonna do insane damage. So I have Seppuku active on both swords now, and I'm just running this to give me additional stamina because I don't really have anything else to increase my damage. But if you had Millicent's prosthesis, that would be actually a great option to run here instead of this, because it's going to stack and increase your damage further, especially running Seppuku on both swords. So in order to activate that, you are going to do your offhand first, then swap back to dual wielding, and then you are going to activate the second one. And then we're just going to quickly top off here with a little health. And then I'm going to proc this. I'm not going to proc Commander Standard because I want you to see the damage that we do. You can see that we are currently at 815 because we have Lord of Bloods active. And yeah, he's dead. It's that quick. Yeah, your damage is really, really, really good without Commander Standard. We can run Commander Standard real quick and then go back in and proc Seppuku on our main sword again. And now if we take a look at our stats, we're at 978, which is insane. That's absolutely insane. And if we take a look at our stats now, 1618. That's nuts. Earlier, I mentioned that you should not use the Blood Boil Aromatic unless you absolutely have to, and that is because in order to craft it, you need this leaf right here. This leaf is super rare in the game, and you cannot farm it like rest of this stuff you can farm super easy. You can find this all over. This is in caves all over. You can see I have a ton of it. Land octopuses are all over, and there's a few different spots where you can farm them. Super easy. I'll point one of those out real quick after this part here. And then this one right here is relatively rare, and the only place I know of that you can farm it is from these giants right here. And there's one right by this site of grace. If you take a look at where I am on the map, I am at the Giants Grave Post site of grace. So you spawn in here at this site of grace, and then we want to fight this guy. And if you are lucky, he will drop it. And I say lucky because his chance to drop it is extremely rare. And there we go. That should be it. Yep, there you go. And as you can see, he drops it. So I only had to kill him twice there, but I've had plenty of goes where I've had to kill him 3 or 4 times in a row before I've gotten one to drop. Okay, so quickly for the land octopuses, they are really easy and you can farm them over at this bridge right here. So you're going to go to the Saints Bridge waypoint. Once you are here at this site of grace, you are going to jump on your horse because you're going to need your horse because we're going to go jumping off the bridge. Turn right here at this pillar, jump and then double jump so that you land inside this area here. You will not take any fall damage. Then we are going to get off the horse. You got 3 there, 1 there, and then there's 1 right over there in the distance. And you just kill them and they have a 100% chance to drop the land octopus ovaries, which is what we are after here. And then there you go. You can see we got the land octopus ovary that we were after. So you can farm those quickly and easily at this location here. So one more thing before we wrap up this video, I want to show you where you can get these curved swords. They're really easy to get. You can get them super early in the game, and that is right here at the Church of the Pilgrimage. So what you're going to do is you're just going to spawn in here and then you are going to run around here to the outside and this guy right here will drop them. You're going to kill him twice or once. If you have holy on your weapon, I advise using a holy weapon. And then if he doesn't drop it, you're going to run back in and reset and run back out and kill him again. And obviously anything you can do to increase the drop rate is going to help. But if you are leveling for this build, you are already going to have a lot of arcane, or you should have a lot of arcane. Just immediately be dumping your points into arcane right from the get-go. Well, and vitality, you do want survivability. And then that's also going to help ensure that these drop. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for this one. If you have any further tips or tricks that can help improve this build, let me know down in the comments section. I'm eager to hear them. If you know of a weapon, a curved sword that would fit better for this, besides the Bandit's Curved Sword, let me know. As far as I know, the Bandit's Curved Sword is the best. I've tried pretty much all of them, but there may be another weapon that could fit this build better. So let me know down in the comments section any ideas you may have, or any ideas for talismans that may be a better fit in this lineup. And if you enjoyed the video, consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to my supporters on Patreon for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you'd like to join my elite crew of Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. And until next time, thanks for watching.